Target really said, who's a black person that does activism? Let's get them. And then they went and got Al Sharpton. And I really believe that Target thinks getting Al Sharpton is going to bring black people back to Target. Why the fuck do y'all think bringing Al Sharpton and getting him to talk about Target is going to bring black people back to Target? Y'all literally said, we know a black. We know a black, so let's get him. See, you guys, we know a black, and he says that we're not that bad. Like, he says that Target is still cool. Like, we know a black. Baby, Target is over. Target's done. Al Sharpton isn't going to bring Target back for y'all. Like, I understand that now you guys see that what you did was fucked and you shouldn't have done it. But, like, at the end of the day, you already showed what it is. You were so excited to get rid of black people's shit out of Target. You were, like, too excited. So you already made up your decision. Bringing back Al Sharpton is not going to make us think, oh, yay, Target loves black people. It just makes me think you guys were like, oh, I know a black. And you guys went and got someone who's black who does activism in order to make us think that you guys are aligned with that when you're clearly not. So Target, boo-hoo. Sucks for you. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, hope everyone else is having a great day.
Y'all messed up. Y'all showed us who you were. You showed us that you don't care about black business. You don't care about business from other marginalized groups. So why are you trying to talk with Al Sharpton? Even if you speak to him, I'm not going back to Target. And nobody I know is going back to Target. I hope you guys go under. I really do. Because you don't get to bow to a fascist and hurt minorities and marginalized groups and still keep your company. If you don't want our DEI dollars, then you don't have to get our DEI dollars. I'll scoop my ass over there to Costco. Target and all of these other corporations act like they are entitled to our money. They are not. They are not entitled to our money. And we don't have to spend our money in places that don't invest in us. So if they want to go ahead and play this 1930s, 1950s game, then we can do it like we did it during the 29 crash. Keep our money to ourselves. And just like Cadillac during the Depression, you got to come to black people to bail you out. Now, Al Sharpton is going to take this meeting if he hasn't already, but I would have told him to kick rocks, to be completely honest. If they can't care about more than a profit margin, I understand that these businesses are businesses, and they are in the business of making money. That's what a business is. Got that part. But if they don't have a moral compass and a spine to go up against the obvious fascism that is going on right now, and they want to bow down to a wannabe dictator, I can't help you. I have nothing for you. My hard-earned DEI dollars will be spent on DEI causes to someone who actually invests in us. Period. Full stop.
What is he supposed to do? Is he supposed to release a press statement that make us start shopping at Target again? Because if that's what you're expecting, you are in for a big disappointment. This is no longer a boycott. We don't fuck with y'all. You said what you said. Now stand on it. The difference between Target and us is that we standing on big business. We said we don't fuck with y'all and we mean it. So I don't know what y'all thought reaching out to Al Sharpton was gonna do, except give me more content for a TikTok video, because no, we don't give a damn. Half the time we don't fuck with Al Sharpton, if we being perfectly honest. So I don't know what y'all thought that was gonna do. But yeah, y'all need to figure something else out, because this is no longer a boycott. We just don't fuck with y'all.
We gotta stop acting like we need closure. We don't need closure from Target. We don't need closure. We're treating this like we're desperate and we don't have any other options of places we can go and get our goods from. Okay? We already knew. All of us knew Target was overpriced. Overpriced, expensive products for no reason. Yes, some of us like that, feeling bougie, I always thought Target was like a bougier vibe, like, ooh, you know what I mean? But like, we all know their prices was already overpriced. So like, we don't need closure from Target. Just like we don't need closure from that X. We don't need closure from Target. We can literally just go and not go back. Like, I'm confused. So Target is dealing with an issue and now we're trying to solve it. Black people, we got to stop solving other people's problems and focus on us. That's what we agreed to following the election. I thought we were all on the same page following the election, that we were going to stand down these next 4 years, work on taking care of us, our self-love, our self-care, setting our boundaries, working on our emotional intelligence, working on getting to the bag, and really doing what we need to do, like really keeping our head down and just focusing on us instead of trying to save the world. We're taking a break. I thought we've already decided this. So now that Target's seeing all these decreased sales, now it's like, ooh, now we got to go meet with Target. Like, no, we don't need closure from Target. We don't need no closure. We're done. We're done, y'all. We got to really work on our boundaries and our self-love and our self-respect. There's so many other stores we can go to. I'm confused on what is the motive? Why are we so pressed to like make Target work? Fill me in. What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing some key facts. I feel like I'm missing some key data, just some key stories maybe. Like, I need y'all to fill me in. Like, what is Target doing that can't nobody else do? It's really given like we can't get over the X because we feel like ain't nobody else, and that lets me know we need to build up our self-esteem and our self-confidence. We need to realize how valuable we are as a people, as a collective. Because right now it seems like we're working out of desperate energy. I mean, when Target knocked on the door to have a conversation, what are we having a conversation for? When people show you who they are, believe them. They showed us who they were in real time, and now they're like, oh, now they're facing the consequences, and now they're trying to backtrack. No. Stand on it. Stand on your word. But why can't we stand on ours? I'm confused on why we're so gung-ho on trying to save Target. That's not our problem. We said we were gonna stand down, focus on us, get into the bag, focus on just being calm, focusing on self-care and taking care of us as we get through these hard times and these trying times. I'm confused on when the decision was for us to come back into battle for Target. Like, come on, y'all. If we say something, we gotta stick to it. We're not that desperate. We're not that desperate. Okay, if we gotta go to Costco and buy stuff in bulk, let's do that. Okay, if we gotta save up a little extra money before we go on a grocery run or be more conscious about the things we purchase, let's do that. But just the fact that we're just begging Target to see us, like, yo, you don't see no other race or community begging Target to see us. Why? Because they know their value. Okay? We gotta stand in our value. We gotta know our worth. Like, let's stop with this desperate stuff. Let's stop with this, we need closure. Like, we said we were done. Let's stick to it and be done. And we need to find a collective or a representative that aligns with majority of the community. Versus, what are the motives here? Are the motives personal gain? Are the motives visibility? Come on now. Come on. Let's be real. Let's be real. Ain't nobody stressing over Target like that. We said we were done. Let's be done. We giving them too much energy on Sunday, especially on Easter Sunday. Like, that just make my stomach hurt. Like, at all times, we talking about somebody. We don't need to be talking about them right now. We could have saved them for next week. Let me know what y'all think, because I need y'all to fill me in on what I'm missing to why we're even still continuing the conversation with Target. There should be no contact with the black community at all. They've already showed us who they are. We don't need to see nothing else. What else do we need to see? I don't care your sales are going down. I don't care. You didn't care when you took us out the stores. You didn't care when you didn't want to hire people like me. You didn't care when you took the brands out. So why do we care that their sales are going down? Who cares? Cry me a river. Cry me a river.
Target used to be one of the loudest corporate voices for diversity, equity, and inclusion. After George Floyd's murder, they made bold promises. $2 billion in commitments to black-owned businesses, strong DEI hiring goals, and public support for LGBTQ+ rights. But now, they're walking it all back. On January 24th, Target announced it was scaling down its DEI initiatives. They eliminated hiring goals for minorities. They disbanded their Racial Justice Executive Committee, and they introduced a watered-down rebrand called Belonging at the Bullseye. Foot traffic has dropped for 10 straight weeks, down 9% in February, 6.5% in March. Some blame the weather or post-holiday slumps, but let's be honest, people noticed the shift, especially after Reverend Jamal Bryant launched a 40-day shopping fast from Target during Lent. Over 200,000 people joined in. This isn't just a dip in numbers, it's a message. Black Americans are expected to have $2 trillion in buying power by 2026. And many saw Target as a friend, a company that believed in them, not just when it was trendy, but when it mattered. So when Target started backtracking, it felt like betrayal. Even Ann and Lucy Dayton, daughters of one of Target's co-founders, called it out. Bryant met with Target's CEO, who agreed to recommit to the $2 billion black-owned business pledge. But that's just one piece. The boycott continues. Community pressure is rising, and now churches across the country are opening Bullseye Black Matters markets to spotlight black-owned alternatives to Target. This isn't just politics, it's trust. You made promises when it was easy, and now you're quiet when it counts. So tell us, Target, who are you really standing with?
So what I find really interesting about Target losing all this money and still not bringing back DEI, and all of these businesses losing money and not bringing back DEI, and the fact that there's plenty of research that shows that DEI is good for businesses. It's better for the customers. You know who you're servicing. You know more about them. They're like ample amounts of research that prove that DEI is good for business, right? And I think we're all hitting it from a logical standpoint, but it's not logical. None of the things that they've really done are logical. They don't make sense. They don't. It's not logical. It's personal. And that's why I'm not shopping at Target, because it is personal. It's not logical because it doesn't make sense. They're losing billions of dollars. It doesn't make sense logically because it's not logical. It's personal. It is personal. They are coming after us. It is very, very personal. And that's what I don't think people get. Like, it is not logical. It's not about logic. It's not, because it doesn't make sense. It's not making dollars, so it's not making sense. It's not logical. It's personal. What part of that is not clicking? Why isn't it clicking? It's not clicking. It's not logical. It's personal. And they mean it. They're standing on it. They know, they are telling you how they feel about you. They're telling you how they feel about us. So I will not be going back to Target. Like, it was never really that great. I'm learning. Like, I'm good. Like,
Target met with the Reverend Al Sharpton. And since the boycott started, I have been considering, like, what could Target possibly do to get me to start shopping at their stores again? So now that they've met with the Reverend Al Sharpton, I've been thinking, like, what could Reverend Al say or do or whatever to get me to go back to Target stores? And I'm just not really sure that there's anything. See, because watching Harvard University and the Big Ten tell Donald Trump to fuck off further reinforces kind of my disgust and disappointment with Target. And I just don't know that there's anything that they could do or say at this point that would get me back in those doors, because the opportunity for them to say we're not going to do this was there. You know, because Costco said it. Costco said, we don't give a fuck what you say, we're not doing it. Even Starbucks said we're not going to roll back our diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. But Target and Walmart, Target was like the first big corporation to turn its back on us, to turn its back on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Like, literally, the executive order was signed, and the very next day, Target announced that it would be completely rolling back its diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Like, y'all didn't even have to think about it. So for me, it was almost like it was something that y'all always wanted to do anyway. It was like y'all were just waiting for a good excuse or a good opportunity to roll back those programs. So I just don't think that there's anything that Target could do to get me back into those stores. Target, like the black community, you know, the 92% black women, we loved y'all deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, it broke my heart to watch y'all do that. Like, I recorded so much content going to Target every Saturday morning with my son, shopping for all kinds of different, I was in love with Target. And that's just how y'all did us. And I just don't think, like, for me, I don't think there's anything. I don't think that there's anything that y'all could do. I'm thinking about it, but I've been thinking about it since y'all decided to roll back your DEI. And I've come up with nothing that y'all could possibly do to get me back into your stores. Not even meet with the Reverend Al Sharpton. 92%. Is there anything that Target could possibly do? I want to hear your opinion on this. Is there anything that Target could possibly do to get you to return to shopping at
Costco, we need you guys to sit down and have a meeting and decide that you are going to make like mini versions of your stores that resemble something like Target, Walmart, something like that. Something on the smaller scale where we don't have to necessarily buy bulk, where we can do our frivolous shopping, where you guys have collections. But we want you to have the same things that Target promised. We want you to have the Pride collections. We want you to have collections for Black History Month. We want you to go all out on those things too. We want you to support Black-owned businesses, very like smaller brands lines in your store. I need you guys to get behind this because it's really funny. I feel like somebody's going to do this, and I would love for it to be Costco because so many people love Costco and feel really good about shopping there right now. And the employees that work there seem to love Costco. Costco sells all the things. They just sell them in like bulk. So if we could like scale it down a little bit, the fashion section, the beauty section, dishes and tech and all the things, but like set up like how Target is set up. The baby stuff like diapers and wipes and things, but not like we would have to be buying them in bulk. We could buy just smaller sizes. This would make it a lot more affordable for people who can't stop shopping at Walmart and can't afford a Costco membership and to buy in bulk right now.
No shade to Reverend Al Sharpton, power to the people, but Al Sharpton is not the spokesperson for Black America. More importantly, I would argue a huge part of this movement and the mobilization of it happened on social media, and Al Sharpton does not necessarily represent the generation that is pulling back their dollars from Target. I would also like to point out, let's say Target apologizes and acknowledges that this might not have been a smart business move. You offended your base, your consumer base. I would also argue that because they're losing that much dollars, like Black people are not the only people boycotting Target. But that's neither here nor there. Let's say they apologize. Let's say they acknowledge that doing that, especially so publicly, was a mistake. The reality is the apology would only matter if there's action and creating an infrastructure that allows their new brands, whether they're Black owned or not, to actually thrive on their shelves. Because just being a Black owned brand on a Target shelf isn't enough for you to actually do well as a business. And what happens is a lot of these brands get so excited about being at a Target and they have to scale to Target's demand and create an inventory that accommodates Target's consumer numbers. They end up not doing well and actually going under because they cannot afford to accommodate being in Target, but they also aren't necessarily selling at the rate they need to sell in order to just break even. So if Target, the multi-billion-dollar corporation, really wanted to make an apology, they should do a formal apology, but also create an infrastructure for brands entering Target, whether they are Black owned, women owned, or literally owned by anybody, that allows those brands to actually thrive on their shelves rather than just take up space in order to not sell.
Somebody tell Uncle Al to go sit down. As for me and my house, Target don't exist. That's just bottom line. The reality is money talk. And that's for everybody to say, oh, it doesn't matter. Target isn't going to do anything. No, trust me. We hit their pockets and now they're trying to be nice. I'm sorry, it won't work.
The amount of money I have saved from not going to Target like every few days, because you know when you're going to Target, even just to get that one little thing, that one thing that you just ran out of that you're only going real quick to pick up, you end up buying like $50 to $100 worth of shit. You just do. You do every time. And one of the huge takeaways from this whole Target boycott thing, aside from, them showing their true colors, is that all kind of just grown accustomed to realize that we don't need anything from Target as much as we thought we did. I mean, the amount of stuff in my apartment that's from the decor section alone. I can say with certainty, this plant, this picture frames, calendar, all from Target. This plant, these candle holders, Target. And honestly, I feel like maybe it got lost in the shuffle with the DEI rollbacks and everything, but they were price gouging the hell out of all of us. Like each of those things I just showed you was probably $15 to $20 a piece. So when I tell you that not shopping at Target is the easiest, most financially beneficial thing you could possibly do right now, that should be your reason to stop shopping.
This is to the CEO of Target who called upon Reverend Al Sharpton to sit down at the table to discuss the DEI rollbacks. You can call upon Jesus Christ himself to sit down with you. I'm still not coming into Target. You lost me as a customer.